What's up guys, welcome back to another video. So in this episode we're going to be painting the engine bay in the GTO, and after we get that painted we're going to let it dry overnight and we're going to start assembling the engine bay a little bit, hopefully get this thing running. So place your bets right now if you think this thing's going to fire up. You put them down in the comment section below, and at the end of the video we're going to find out. Right now it's already prepped and ready to go. So what I did was basically I sanded everything down, ground down all the welds, and then, well, I ground down all the welds, I sanded everything down, then I went ahead and seam sealed everything, so you know there's not going to be water getting in between, you know, the apron and the rail, and you know, rusting that stuff out. I seam sealed everything. I was extra thorough with the seam sealer. For me personally, I don't really care about, you know, I'd rather it be good than look good. That's kind of my preference. So, you know, I went ahead and seam sealed all this, I seam sealed all that. I don't really care that it's not gonna look 100% OEM because, you know, the car's been hit, there's nothing I can do about that. So I would at least like it to be as protected as possible and not leak. So, you know, and not rust and leak and, you know, whatever. So that's kind of my mentality when it comes to this. Now the windshield, this piece was kind of split that back here. I think it's just from when the hinge got pushed down. You know, this part here went down and then it made a gap here, so I closed that up and put new seam sealer on there. So I think we should be okay as far as leaks go into the inside the car. And then here is the rail down here. All this is seam sealed. I really don't care what this looks like. I'm gonna put tons of undercoat and everything down here. And I think obviously I'm gonna paint the whole engine bay, and I think this should be everything that's visible, you know, when everything's put together. I think a lot of this stuff you're not even going to be able to remotely see, but you know, I tried to get as much area as possible painted so that when I put everything together it looks like a brand new engine bay. You know, obviously that stuff's not going to look brand new, but again, I'd rather it be good than look good. So here's this side, I seam sealed the bottom here, I seam sealed the other side of the rail as well, seam sealed all this, so it's looking pretty good. Now I think past these headlight buckets, I'm gonna just end up undercoating everything anyways, so I don't really care, you know, what that looks like as far as paint goes. So next step is gonna be to paint the damn thing. So let's jump right into that, and after that all we got to do is assemble the engine, assemble everything in the engine bay, and then we're going to be going off to paint. And I'm actually going to be repainting the whole car because it does have some sun fade, some clear coat peel, even though it is a single stage. I believe the quarter panel as well as I think the rear bumper and the door have been repainted and they're sun fading and peeling. Let's get this engine bay painted. All right, so the engine bay is all painted up. Now let's get to getting this thing put together, and we got to get it off this spray machine. So let's get to it. So as you guys saw, I just mounted that rear turbo up. Now that that's done, the only thing left on top is to put the intake manifold on and put all the intake pipes on. I did have to modify the little downpipe on the rear turbo because I installed the headers on this car. I actually had to modify that pipe because it wouldn't clear the aftermarket header. So that's all done. At this point, it's time to get the suspension on the car and roll it off this frame machine. I still have to install the front portion of the exhaust. So basically from the collectors from the front turbo to the rear turbo and then back to like the midsection of the exhaust is still completely missing. I have one, I just have to still install it. I have to modify the exhaust that's on there now, since it already has a 3-inch cap back and it just doesn't end in the right spot, so I have to cut it and move it over to match the downpipe that I have, which is right there, the nice stainless one, because I'm not gonna run the garbage one that was in there before. But the real question is, do you guys think this thing will fire right now? Let's check it out. Let's throw a jumper on it. All right, I'll be honest with you guys, I fired it up before. I just tried it out, I just wanted to make sure that it would fire. There's this small issue with an oil leak right there, which is just from the oil cooler. The banjo bolts are all crappy, so I gotta replace those. But I'm super excited this thing finally is running. Just a few odds and ends that need to be tied up in the engine bay, and then basically it's off the paint, and hopefully very soon I'll be able to, well, this summer season, it's February right now, so it's, winter out anyways, so wouldn't be able to drive it right now anyways, but hopefully for the springtime this thing will be fully running and driving, and we'll be just enjoying this thing. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.